Hi, welcome to a walk down Prairie Street. My name is Elliot Moscowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of prairiestreet.co. With me today, special guest Michelle from Miami Food Yenta. She is amazing. So Michelle and I met.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming to
Oh,
us.
thank you for having me. I mean, listen, you can't be in Miami and not have a conversation with the Yenta.
Absolutely not, and you're not the easiest person to get a hold of. I think I've been working on this date through your team for the last 6 months or something, but the cameras, I think, was the thing that got
Well,
me.
you know what it is? They say good things come to those who wait, right?
I
It's
am
like
very
a
patient.
good piece of meat. You have to age it, you know? So,
Very
but we're here
good.
now, and that's what's important.
Look at you, right out of the box here. So I think Michelle is one of my favorite people. I don't have to say I think Michelle. Michelle is one of my favorite people. And because she has a very interesting story of what she does and why she does that. And I think we had some common things in
Yeah.
both our lives that we were able to bond with. And she's able to, Michelle's just a star at being able to take challenges and make them into
thank
a
you.
positive outcome. So you have an interesting story about your son Mark and what got into what. First, before we even get into that, let's start again. Michelle, why don't you tell the audience a little that might not be familiar with who you are, which is probably not possible by the way you market, but let's just assume there might be a couple people that don't know who you are. Tell us what you do and everything.
I met you at Kosher Fest. You came down to Miami, and we had a meeting, and we just started talking, and we really just clicked. A lot of people don't know my story behind this, like you were saying. I got into this because going out to eat was my escape from real life. I mean, really, that's the only way to put it. Thank God I have a wonderful life. I'm very blessed. I have wonderful children. I have 2 children with disabilities. One of them is extremely severe. He is nonverbal, non-communicative, undiagnosed, but he has a diagnosis of severe autism. He just turned 13 this week. We, God willing, will be doing, a bar mitzvah this weekend. But he, he's in diapers. He uses a wheelchair. We have a lot of challenges. I adore him, and his smile can light up your entire room and your entire life. But it's difficult. It's not easy. So, everybody needs to take a break from real life. So I go out to eat. So I started going out to eat, and I started going to the same restaurants over and over again. And the owners were like, I keep seeing you. What's up? What's your story? So I got to know a lot of the owners, and they're amazing people. Some of the restaurant owners here in Miami are phenomenal people who do so much chesed, so much good for the community that nobody knows about. They're just great people to know. And like when I was hospitalized, when my son was hospitalized, one year we spent over 10 weeks in Nicholas Children's Hospital. The owners of the restaurants were sending us food and taking care of us and taking care of my family at home, and just really, really mensch people. But I would go out, I would photograph food, I would write about the food, posting it mainly on at the time it was basically Facebook and Alon Kornblum's Great Kosher Restaurants, who, Alon's the OG of the OG. And people started listening. People really took notice to my pictures and what I was writing, and the restaurant owners would call me up the next day. They would have a special, and they'd be like, "What did you do?" I sold out in the first hour I was open. And so that's how I really got started. And then with COVID, when COVID happened, my girlfriend was like, let's do a WhatsApp group. So she worked with me, my girlfriend, and we did a WhatsApp group. And I was convinced that, everybody has a role when there's a crisis, and everybody has something that they can do. So I like to help. I really like to help people. That's my thing. So I started working with the restaurant owners, doing deals and discounts to get people to still, go to the restaurants but take the food home. So for example, I don't know if I can say restaurant names or not say restaurant names or whatever. Okay, so one of the restaurants on Harding, the meat distributor wasn't changing the amount of meat that they were getting. And so they were getting these large quantities of meat, and nobody was going out to eat. Nobody was going out to eat. Everybody was home. I mean, even in Florida, even in Miami, we were in a lockdown. Okay, it was a very short lockdown, but we all were in some sort of lockdown. So I said to him, I said, marinate your meat, package it up, and do an at-home grill thing. And I helped everybody advertise. And Baruch Hashem, thank God, I really want to say that our restaurants got through COVID. Right. They really did. And so I started this as a way for me to, take a break and center and ground myself and chill. Because you need to refill your cup so you can continue. So it was my way to chill. And then I just wanted to really help all the businesses. And it started as just a chesed and just helping everyone.
Right, that's amazing. And, I've shared with you, I had a different ending of a story, but I also had a sick child for many years, more than 15 years. We just had his yahrzeit anniversary of his death last week. So I know what that is. It's a 24/7 thing, and it's great that you see through and could take the smiles, and that re-energizes you. But it's a job that's perpetual, and it's not like you're going through it with someone as a baby, and then they go through the next step, and then the next step. It's something that
constant.
You'll be
forever. Yeah,
basically.
it's forever. And this is my thing. I really think you wake up in the morning and you can decide, do I want to put a smile on my face and project myself like that and come across as like a ball of sunshine walking down the sidewalk for everyone? Or do I not? And someone's going to walk past me and they're going to be like, what's her problem? It's so much easier to be happy than to not be. And I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I do my fair share of crying and whatever. And we all are going through something. That's the thing. Everybody's always going through something. So for me, I like to bring the positivity and the light, and like you will more often than not see me laughing than crying, because I always try to wake up and just have a smile on my face, because
that's how you
why
get
not?
through the day.
Yeah.
But that's how you get through the day. I mean, you have enough surrounding you to make you say, I have all the reasons in the world not to put on that happy face.
Exactly.
But you do it anyways, and it's more than that. And I think you'll see a commonality with the people we've interviewed. Like, everybody is extremely authentic, and I saw that in the first 2 minutes of our conversations. There was actually a few blocks from where we are right now.
Yeah.
At breakfast, and I think that your concept when you started Miami Food Yenta wasn't to build an information service. I remember this very clearly. What you told me the first time we met was you were trying to earn mitzvah points.
I know, because, okay, I'm still this dorky little girl who is like, well, maybe if I do something good in the world, I'll get a mitzvah point. And if I keep on doing good things, then I can collect all these mitzvah points. And then one day, you can when you're praying to God, you can be like, look at all this good I did. I need to cash in. I need to cash in these mitzvah points. I need a miracle. I need help. But I really, honestly, I like to do good. I'll give you the perfect example, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is really, like, you're talking about being authentic, okay? This is my reality. This is a real me, and I think this is why people like me, because I hope they like me. I mean, they're following me, so I hope you like me if you're following me. I talk about food and whatever, but every day I try to get everybody to laugh. I try to do something, but so one day I was picking up my latte before carpool, whatever, and I don't know, I ran into somebody and somebody said something to me, and it wasn't very nice. And what did I do? I walked back into the restaurant and I said, give me a platter of pastries. Give me a platter. Like, I don't know, it was like a $75 platter of pastries. What did I do? I showed up at my kid's school and I gave the teachers pastries. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. Why would you do that? Because I need to put positivity out there. That's what I do. People can be mean and obnoxious, and you know what? clearly you're going through something, you're not okay with you. I need to put positivity out there. And it sounds dorky, but that's me. That's what I do.
It's actually not dorky, and yes, a lot of our content is evergreen content, but we're all reeling from the events that have happened in the Middle East last week at Israel and Gaza. We all know someone, we all have relatives, we all have friends in the army, we have everything. We have people that we know that were affected by this, and it's a difficult time. And we were just talking about this before we went on camera, that the positive aspect of everything that's going on is that people are coming together, that the normal squabbling that everybody has, and everybody's saying which team they're on, and politically or wherever their issue is everybody's kind of put that to the side, and they're doing what they need to do to send supplies and love and attention and whatever needs to be done. A guy bought 250 tickets for Army.
Oh yeah,
wow,
that was amazing.
I went shot basically to do that. So whatever that takes, and so that's kind of like the environment. I wouldn't say it's the same as COVID, but it has a certain weirdness that people don't really know how to behave. People that are in the hospitality business, for instance, right now, the restaurants here and Florida, in about a month will start to go crazy as New York descends upon us. But
the mass exodus, that we call the season.
The Ari Miklet, maybe. So they all descend on here. But when you're talking, you know a lot of people in this industry and what they're doing, and they're actually small businesses trying to survive at the same time, but they're trying to find the right balance. What are you hearing and what are you seeing, and how are people trying to manage with that?
Okay, so I think we're only 2 weeks out.
Not even.
I mean, not even 2 weeks out, and this is one of the most horrific things ever. And everybody's really trying to figure out how to navigate this. I mean, I walked around the first week in a daze. Like, what? Like, everybody knows somebody who, unfortunately buried someone, knows someone who's missing. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I think everybody, but like you said, there are these acts of kindness. Little kids are doing bake sales, and they're saying, well, I don't need your dollar. Say a prayer. Do something nice, And so we're seeing these amazing acts of kindness, and I think everybody's trying to navigate this, like you're saying, and I think we need to respect how people are navigating it, because I don't know how to navigate this. Do you know how to navigate this? I mean, I think...
What we did today, which was different, I think we've done about 150 videos, somewhere in that neighborhood. We did something that I said we would never do. We did a baking recipe, but the baking was challah.
Yeah.
And so for us, so we did something we've never done, which was a baking thing from Naomi Ross, and it was making challah, because when people have, in the Jewish culture, when they have problems, people are sick, the women get together, and there's something about the number 40 also.
Well, there are so many things, and one of the things that I learned about challah is that challah was given to us as a mitzvah, as a way for Hashem to say to you, I love you, I want to be close with you. You're literally turning your kitchen counter, this mundane area that you're chopping vegetables and paying your bills on and doing whatever and packing lunches on. You never think about how holy this is. You don't. And this is God saying, I'm coming into your home. I want to be close to you. I want to hear you. I love you. I want to be with you. And this is your mizbeach. This is your Beit HaMikdash. And I think there's so much to that. And even it's like, when you knead the dough and you get into it, like really, it's such a, for me, and I can only speak for me, like I'm talking to God.
Baker,
I'm talking to Hashem.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to Hashem, and Hashem is here in my home, and I'm important enough that Hashem wants this one-to-one time with me. Hashem wants this time with me. Wants to hear what I have to say. okay, Hashem, we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk. And that's what I do. When I do my challah, the fact that you did challah is so important. It's so important for so many people. I mean,
Do you find it therapeutic for you?
oh my gosh, absolutely. And I want to give challah to everyone. That is my love language. If I love you, I'm giving you a challah. Really, really. I'm telling you, like I bake them and like my husband's like, there's one left. I go, yeah, I gave them to everybody else in the neighborhood. He's like, I want them all. I'm like, no, I'm going to give them out. But like even, there's so much about challah. Even if you look at the ingredients, okay? They're polar opposites. Oil and water, salt and sugar. I mean, think about this. It talks about so much about balance in your life. And look at flour. Flour is nothing. You can't eat flour on its own. Sugar, okay, you can eat sugar on your own. I don't suggest it, but I'm sure children do it all the time, especially mine. But flour is nothing. Croissants, cakes, cookies, challah, all these amazing things are made from flour, but you can't do it without a binder. And you can't do it, so like a lot of people say that represents Torah. You can't do it without the water. Water's everywhere. That's Torah. So you have your flour and you have your mayim, you have your Torah, and it's this whole thing. And like, look at the yeast. Look at the yeast. The yeast, some people think it represents your ego. Like wow. if it gets too high and too inflated,
you have to flatten it down.
Yeah, but not only that. If your challah rises too much, you go out and you run your errands. If you're like me, you forget that you have challah rising, and you go out and you like get your nails done and whatever. And like 4 hours later, you come home and you're like, oh, your challah is everywhere, and it has that bad smell, that fermented smell. You ladies know what I'm talking about, okay? It means your ego's overinflated. But if you don't let the yeast rise enough, if you don't have enough self-esteem, if you don't have enough of an ego in you, how are you going to get through life? So challah, yes, it's a bread, it's a thing, but for us women and Jewish culture, it is so much more than that. And so I appreciate, really, from the bottom of my heart, that you did something on challah. And first of all, Naomi's braids were great, okay? So I can't wait for that episode to come out because I want to see her braiding, especially her little like challah rolls. But yeah, that's really, but like you said, everybody's doing something they don't normally do. And everybody's just trying to navigate. And a lot of people are doing things quietly. Restaurants are feeding families who, family members are deployed. Right. They are doing chesed. They are sending pallets of stuff. We have a very big Israeli population here in Miami, right? I have restaurants. I have sister restaurants in Tel Aviv. And they're feeding the soldiers and everybody on the front line, and like everybody is doing something. So I really think just because you don't see somebody doing something doesn't mean they're not doing it. Remember, a lot of people give tzedakah and chesed very quietly. So I think everybody just needs to pay attention. A lot of people like to be more discreet when they give charity, and that's actually one of the highest levels, the word, if people are unfamiliar, chesed, that you've been using. And it's more than kindness. It's a higher level because you're expecting nothing in return. Yes, you're not expecting a thank you.
When you're doing something anonymously, you're giving money to a poor family, or you're doing good deeds, and you're doing it not for your ego, so your name's on a building, but you're doing it so that those people can benefit. Like we have a common friend, Alex Rappaport in Moscowitz. So we've been involved in, in helping them in a significant way at certain points. But one of the amazing things, I was talking to Alex a couple of weeks ago, is there are families that are depending on a weekly basis. So special shout out to mosbia.org from us here at Prairie Street. But one of the things that's really cool is instead of having local people deliver these meals, they had like DoorDash signed a contract and they did 500 deliveries with DoorDash. So
that's amazing.
So that it's anonymous.
Completely anonymous.
Anonymous. It's not like someone they could
That's beautiful.
Or
That's beautiful.
Deliver food. And so those kind of details are, I think people are paying attention, and hopefully when this is all said and done, people could think a little more about the benefits of unity over arguing over everything. And there's a lot more we could accomplish together. And if you really peel the onion, most people probably agree on 60 or 70% of most things. and they could do a lot of that stuff together. But let's just say that we weren't going through this in normal times. Part of the reason we moved down here was, just
For the fun of Miami and the Florida lifestyle.
For the fun, I just want to be a Michelle wannabe.
You really want a tan, Elliot. You really want a tan. You know why that's why you moved down here.
As long as I get a tan and I keep a tan, and I'm looking forward to, and I'm already getting pictures of people wearing coats in New York, so I'm smirking to myself, but I'm not being arrogant about it.
Listen, it was chilly today. It was 62 degrees.
We managed. It was actually great for filming outside.
Okay.
It was one of the most beautiful days we've had. But in normal times, we just identified, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist, that the trends of families from New York, California, substantive states have moved here, whether it be tax reasons or politics or quality of life, or people are working remotely more, or they want good weather, or whatever it is. The combination of those things it's been relentless, the amount of people that are moving down here, and actually to other parts of the country, like another mutual friend, shout out to our good friend Mendel Siegel, that opened a restaurant in Cleveland, that he had told me like 100 families moved to Cleveland because
a lot of
the
people
cost of living, and if you could work remotely, wherever you do that. So kosher, and that was one of our themes, that we wanted to be a national company that could deliver anywhere in the country.
And you do. All you have to do is order online, and then you get Elliot's meat right to your door.
So we worked on a project for Purim a year ago.
Yeah, that was a great project.
And so why don't you tell everybody about that?
Okay, so I like to let everybody know about food, and I like to be a little unique. I don't know if you can tell, I don't like to fit into a box. So we came up with the idea that it'd be really fun, because everybody has Purim Seudas, to send a box of meat to everyone, so they could sample a selection of what Prairie Street actually offers. So that was really great. So we sent that to a bunch of friends. We had everything. Oh, there was the rack of lamb in it. That was great. There was a rack of lamb. There was a tomahawk, I remember.
And there was veal chops. And
oh, yes, the veal chops. And there was one more thing, right? I can't remember.
I think we had, and then brisket also.
Yeah.
It was a real serious goodie bag.
Okay, it was very, very good. It was very good, and I have to tell you, I really enjoyed it. First of all, people opened up the box and they were like, what am I gonna get? I'm gonna get a thing of Holmentashen, whatever, and they open up and they're like, oh, who doesn't like meat? I mean, come on, it's great, So people were really excited. My girlfriend Debbie gave me the best recipe for the rack of lamb, which was phenomenal, so good. And it was a really good experience and way to introduce yourself to people and what you offer and the community, and people had a great chance. Oh, there were people grilling. There was all kind of stuff going on with your meat.
That's what we're trying to do, is combine education with high quality product. So when you were talking about that at-home experiences, there's a benefit of eating at home. I mean, I love a great restaurant just like anybody else, but there's a certain time that you're sitting together, especially when you can't use your phones, and you could talk to people on a human basis and actually have a conversation.
And interact.
And actually interact, something like we're doing.
I know, believe it or not, I go out to eat a lot, but I do stay home
We've
too.
been at this for like 30 minutes. Are you fumbling for your phone? Do you feel a separation anxiety right now?
No. I'm not fumbling for my phone, but I do have a dinner reservation. So, TikTok, let's go, chop.
I think I checked most of the list of the plugs that you needed there. But you're an amazing person, Michelle, and the team that you work with. But I'm inspired by people like you, that I know their struggle is perpetual, and it's, there's only one good reason to go to hospital, and that's to have a baby for the most part.
Yeah.
And, sometimes people go through rough periods of time, but they could see that light at the end of the tunnel, and they just focus or obsess about that.
Yeah.
So your light at the end of the tunnel is today, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you make it through today, right?
Yeah, this is one hell of a way. Sorry, this is one heck of a way to finish my day. This is awesome.
It is awesome.
This is so cool.
What I'm saying though is that the fact that you could give inspiration to other people besides your authenticity is your strength, is your inner strength. And
Thank you, I try.
And that people look at you as a role model and say, relatively, what I'm going through is nothing compared, no matter what you have materially or anything else, it's having that thing. So all we can do is pray for your family and you, and for all our brothers and sisters and family in Israel and all over the world, that we should have peace and,
Amen.
And we should have a good year. We just finished the New Year holidays with a little less anxiety, a little more return to normal, and whatever it is, we're going to be prepared for it and make that go. So.
And you know what? If we're not prepared for it, we're going to deal with it the best way we can. We're going to try our best, and we're just going to try. We're going to have emunah, and we're going to believe in Hashem, and we're going to get through it as best as we can and try to do it with a smile on our faces.
And you're the poster girl. Absolutely. So, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having
Prairie
me.
Street. And I'm glad that we finally corralled you. And we actually, did you guys put memory cards in the cameras? That kind of thing? Okay, so I think we have captured this. And
oh, that's okay. You don't know. I'm stealing all the leftover prime rib and everything they've been shooting all day. It's going home with me.
Not a problem. You're welcome to take whatever you want. And really, I'm excited. You and I want to give another shout out to a mutual friend, Noah Lang.
Oh, Noah's the best.
Noah's the best. The kosher concierge.
Kosher concierge. He's very
good. He's the
good.
one that kind of turned me on to the whole chef business. The two of you were trying to help us get started here, and a big fan. A lot of these people on our channel have come from Noah, or introductions because of Noah. The only person more elusive than you is Noah. So
Noah's amazing. Noah's amazing. I'm serious. Noah has a Rolodex of chefs like you could not believe. Okay, so did you hear about the party I threw?
You didn't invite me, so
I know. I didn't know you then. Okay, so maybe we'll have to do this again with Prairie Street Meat. Okay.
No problem.
We did a dining in the dark. Wow. Yes, dining in the dark. Full blindfolds, everything, dark house, everything. I called Noah. I was like, Noah, I want to do that. I don't want to.
Is it
I
men
go
and
out.
Women?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was my girlfriend's birthday, and she's an amazing friend. And food is my love language. If you haven't picked up on that already, so I just wanted to do something amazing for her. That's so out of this world. We go out to the restaurants all the time, whatever. I wanted to do something crazy. So I called Noah and I was like, I want to do dining in the dark like they have in New York, but it's all treif. I want to do it here, kosher. And he's like, okay, what are you thinking? Noah was like, oh, this chef, bum, 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 bum. He can fit you the perfect chef for what you want to do, your menu, everything. His chef was fantastic. We did dining in the dark, so everything came out. The room was dark. We had our blindfolds on, came out, we're looking, okay? The first dish was a lamb skewer. Oh, wait, no, we did have your lamb there. That's right. That's right.
But I wasn't living down there.
No, you weren't here. You were flying back and forth all the time. So I have to tell you, literally the best lamb of my life. Not even kidding you. And I even got injured. I got injured eating it. You know why? Because it was on a skewer. And I'm dining in the dark, and I go like that, and I stab myself with the skewer.
Thank God it wasn't. I thought I had a lawsuit.
No, but
what a way to end a podcast. You're suing me.
But it was so good, and also your taste buds are so heightened because your eyes are closed, so you're really relying on your senses. So I'm wine is great. I have the few wines I like, but we had a sommelier. And in paired with the wines, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to explain to you how amazing that dinner was. We have to do another one.
How about you take it to the next level? You put 10 people in a room that don't get along and you blindfold them all. And you just pick a topic and you get one of these voice machines that kind of disfigure their voice and you can't recognize that. And let's see if they could actually have a conversation talking and not looking with That's a great idea. There's many steps you could go with this. I'm not sure how much on camera, but
as long as there were no skewers that anyone can stab anybody with. But it was great. We did like a 5 or 6 course meal, and Noah arranged it. He worked it all out, and he got the groceries and everything. And so the lamb was from Prairie. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so Noah Lang, the kosher
Noah,
country age.
the best.
It's not even a trivial shout out, it's a major
No,
shout
it's
out.
like legit,
It's
authentic.
legit
I
beautiful.
use him for myself. When I need a chef, I call Noah.
He's one of our favorites. And Noah, I'm trying to, for 2025, to book him to come on the channel, but he has 4 events that are booked simultaneously.
He's very, very busy.
He's always busy.
He's very busy.
If you talk to him for more than like 30 seconds, you wasted his time.
No, I'm very lucky because thank God we live close to each other. So every now and again, Friday afternoon as we're running in to do last minute things, I'll be like, Noah!
That's excellent.
But okay, so maybe we'll see if he'll come on here with me. Maybe we can get him on here.
That would be some 3-way interesting conversation. So
The more the merrier.
the more the merrier, and we could do it as part of the, the blindfold dining or whatever you call.
Well, I'm always up for a good time.
Excellent. So Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you for
We wish
having
you the
me.
best. This is really, I've been thinking about this moment for a long time, and we just pray and hope that all our extended family, being the Jewish people and the world in general, calms down a little and everybody takes a breath and appreciates life of what we have to offer. And we hope to see you guys in the future on our channel. We're trying to help out and make and cherish the people that haven't had home experience, that they really understand what they have and the family that they're with, and that should be just as high quality as everything else. So you're a high quality woman. You're one of our team here very much, and we're really appreciative to have you.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
Okay, take care. Thank you very much. This has
Bye,
been
guys.
a walk
Thank
down
you.
Prairie Street.